Holy smokes, Apple and Meta. We've got to talk about both of them. First, we got to talk about Apple increasing production of the standard model iPhone by 30% because apparently people are going ape over the iPhone 17 right now. We need to talk about this. Then we need to talk about the Meta display glasses. So we're going to talk about my experience with the Metas, and we'll keep it short. We'll call it like a Meet Kevin tech check. Or something like that. First thing that I want to shout out are two recommendations. Number one, I highly encourage you not to use black Sharpie on your AirPod cases. It's a bad idea. It smears like crazy, and it's not good. Second thing that is a great idea to have, I recommend you get one of these little trays. You can get them on Amazon for your AirPods. They're so nice because they give your AirPods a place to chill on your desk. And so it's like they're always in the same spot. And you could charge with these as well. I got it off Amazon. It's got a little USB-C charger in the back. But I have 4 AirPods on my desk right now. I'm not going to carry all of them here, but they all link to different computers or Macs or PCs or whatever. And so I use them for streaming and different purposes and keeping them all organized. Those little plastic stands have been so helpful. Great little hack. Buy it on Amazon. Just look up like an iPod stand or something. I don't have a link for you. Sorry. Okay. So first things first, a lot of people have been like, Kevin, you made a review when the iPhone reveal happened. And you know, you kind of left us hanging a little bit. Like, are you going to get the new iPhone? And here's the thing. Every single year when the new phones come out, you know the software just ends up slowing down the old models. It happens every time. I don't know what it is, but the Apple Watch, for example, before they released the Apple Watch Ultra, what happened was they started releasing some beta software updates, and I used to go from not having to charge this but once every other day, even with running, to having to charge this 2 to 3 times a day. I had this fully charged last night. I'm already half dead, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning here, half dead, and I haven't even gone on a run yet. I go on a run with this thing at half battery, I'll be down at 10%. And it'll be dead by 2 or 3 o'clock, which is really annoying because I always like to go on a run in the afternoon, and then all of a sudden I have to take it off and charge. I never used to have to do that. So I know that maybe that's my speculation, but it just seems to be very common. Now, as far as the actual data on the iPhone, right? We know that the iPhone 17 Pro, biggest battery ever, that's their pitch. The new orange color is pretty sick. They've got the 6-core GPU in it, new thermal design. They say it's a 40% better sustained performance over the 16 Pro. Interesting, because I've definitely seen mine crashing multiple times. My iPhone 16 has crashed a lot. And the way I'll find it crashing is usually when I go on a run and I'm running the fitness app on my watch, which is syncing over here, obviously. But then I'll run the journal app, and then I'll have other like news or video apps or whatever up. And sometimes I'm dictating, I'm switching to different apps, I'm switching to mail, like all these processes are running. And I will probably every 2 or 3 days crash this to where I'll just get black screen of death, I call it. I'll get the pinwheel, and it just gets overloaded, goes to the lock screen, shuts all the apps off, and I got to restart it all. Pain in the butt. So it doesn't surprise me that they are pitching better sustained performance, because I think they are hitting people who were like in my situation where they're like, yes, we're definitely getting to a point where there are sustainable, like there are issues with performance. They also say that the new phone is 3x better scratch resistant to the front and back, and 4x better or more resistant to cracks on the back of the phone. This is the iPhone 16. It is shockingly bad at crack resistance. This has fallen from seated height onto tile floor maybe 3 times, and that's the damage that I've gotten over time. Just like from here. You know, it's what, 2 feet or whatever, and it just cracks it. So I generally don't have a case, but I got a case because I'm just tired of honestly scratching my hand on all the missing glass back here. Now I have Apple Care, so I'll get it fixed before I trade it in. But I hate the process of going through the Apple Care repairs because I have to reset everything up. I'm like, I'll just wait for, the next phone to come out. So they say that the new phone is going to have the best battery ever. I'm curious to see that. And they also say that less glare in the new Pro model of the phone. I do notice when I'm out on a run that the 16 can be hard to see at times. Now, that's the 17 Pro. The 17 normal does also, though, have the faster A19 chip and 3000 nits of brightness, which is the highest outdoor brightness yet on a normal model. So maybe there's enthusiasm about people wanting to go out. Maybe there's just enthusiasm about more battery life. Maybe people are frustrated that there's so much going on inside these phones now, and so many apps are using more and more power that we just want that latest and greatest efficiency. And so therefore, this just arrived. What do you know? The iPhone 17. So here it is. I got the orange one. I also got the green case so I could make it look like Halo, Master Chief. So pretty exciting. I'm sure I'll be dropping this from a 2-foot height and drop testing the height of it. But yeah, let's go for it together, and then we'll also get to the Meta glasses part and the display part in just a moment. I'll also talk to you about the sport glasses, which I think are really cool, and I'll explain where I think some of these could be useful. But Apple reportedly having to now increase production of the standard model by 30% on the 17. It's also a sign that the consumer is still spending. Consumers still blowing money, and it's actually a great thing because it's what you want. You don't want people losing their jobs in this economy. You don't want people cutting back spending. You want to see continuous spending and continuous desire of, hey, we've got money, household wealth is up, let's spend money on the latest and greatest stuff. So even if we have an extra 20% battery life, which is all you're really getting with this, right? When you actually calculate the battery size difference, they're really only pitching best case scenario, an extra maybe 18% battery life. And then you ask yourself, is it really worth upgrading, spending $800 for the net difference between what I could trade this in for, maybe $799, and what this costs, like $1,500? Is that $700-800 difference with taxes really worth 18% more in battery life? And the answer to me is yeah, because this is the core of my business when I'm out and about. At the end of the day is when I do a lot of my real estate work, or the second half of the day, I need that battery power. I need that production. I hate it when stuff crashes. If I'm filming a video and it crashes and then I can't get a video out, it's a revenue difference. Wow, that actually looks really good. That is very nice. Now, I'm not so sure how I feel about, this, how they went with this. This is going to take a while to get used to. This feels weird. You've got sort of the aluminum here, but then this is almost like plasticky over here, almost like it has a wallet already on it, but it doesn't, like the MagSafe ones. But I have to say that does look pretty good. So what do I got in the actual box here? I got the phone with screen cover here. I'll set that now for a moment. We've got USB-C cable. I'm actually surprised they still give us USB-C cables. So that's cute. The little braided cable. I like it. Little iPhone manual, or what is this? This is iPhone. This is, you no longer need a physical SIM. Literally a whole little sheet here on you no longer need a physical SIM. Yes. Yes, we know eSIMs are great. I've got 4 of them. All right. So there it is. Wow. I have to say, even the buttons, look at that. Even the buttons have the color. That's quite nice, honestly. I mean, it's a statement of a color. But you know me, I'm not afraid to make a statement. So that's impressive. Let's go ahead and give that a... That's always quite satisfying. Wow. I have to say, that contrast is nice between the black screen there and then the orange. That's really nice. And you know me, I mean, everybody already calls me orange. Uh, too much running in the sun. It's a seamless edge too. Is the other one? I don't like how it comes around the corner is a seamless edge. Hold on a sec. I guess, yeah, no, see, this one doesn't look or feel like a seamless edge. So this is the 16. Let's look up. You can kind of see where like even like dirt kind of catches onto here, onto the edge inside the case, right? Because you don't have that seamless edge. It's sort of like glass and then the titanium frame or whatever. Whereas if you look at the 17, look at that edge. That's quite nice. It seems seamless. So I like that a lot. Man, that little line right there from the iPhone 4 reminds me of Antenna Gate. And I realized, yes, my fingers aren't exactly the cleanest. Yesterday I got pretty dirty installing the Cybertruck rack, which is another little tech check, if you will. But spoiler alert, I'm building out the Cybertruck to be this like property management monster, and it's pretty exciting because well, let's just put it this way: we've got a lot of enthusiasm around what we're doing with real estate and property management and house hack. It's all full of a photo of it, but I've got a great shot of the rack just minutes after we tightened the final bolt on it, and it's great because it's exciting. Now the top of the Cybertruck is flat. Take a look at this. So I can put a lot of cool things up on there, but there's a little shot of the Cybertruck. And then of course, if you didn't see it earlier, this was me enlisting Max, helping me finish tightening some of the components of the rack. But anyway, so a little bit of Apple news, which is really exciting, but then we also have to talk about the glasses. So while my first glasses from Meta broke, and Meta's actually saying they're going to replace them, which is really exciting. Shout out to them. I also have a Meta banner for what it's worth. If you want $30 off the Meta glasses, use meetheaven.com/Meta. A sponsor. But when my first pair of glasses broke, I decided I wanted a second pair of the Meta glasses. This photo I took, by the way, the reason it's a weird angle here is because it's my POV. It's like through my eyes, right? And I actually love that about the Meta glasses, is that I get to see my children again through the angle of my eyes, of what I saw. Like, I'll show you another example here. I was flying the children around, which I always do this with the babies. We'll call it airplane, and then little babies, they want to fly. So I grab the children and I hold them like an airplane and I fly them around, and then we mess with them. So here's an example of what that looks like. So this is an example. This is filmed on the Meta glasses, mind you, right? So the kids want to tickle the other kids, Max and Jack, and I'll run them around. And, Lauren and the boys will tickle the babies. But I want you to see specifically Summer's reaction when it's her turn. So when I go here, I'm going to put this baby down, and I'm going to grab the other baby. Watch this. Watch Summer's reaction. I ask her, "Are you ready?" And just look at that smile that she gives. You ready? Yeah. It's the cutest thing ever. I got the volume silenced on this because there's a lot of screaming and noise here. But I love this, like getting these angles of the children, even blurry shots with the Meta glasses like this. When you're like moving or whatever, and you're getting that angle of what it's like seeing that child's face. These are priceless memories. And to me, you can't really get some of these shots without these glasses. That's why I've become such a fan of this. Here you could see, seeing the little kiddos all playing together, or Jack playing with the kiddos. It's awesome. So, or like the kid kissing you. You can't get this as well unless you're wearing glasses. Watch this. Kisses. It's so cute. Very happy children. Anyway, and there's Ella totally passed out. So like, oh, she actually, I think, cues up the idea to fly. I think that's what happened here. And then she wants to fly, and then all the other kids want to fly too. So you'll be able to see that right here. You guys see them all queue up over there. So anyway, the Meta glasses. So I got these after I broke my first set of Meta glasses because I took them to a water park. And apparently they're not lazy river proof. They are water resistant, and I didn't like submerge them in water, but just splashing was enough to break the first ones. So be careful, they will break in the water. I bought a backup pair. So I have the Ray-Ban Metas, but then I also now have the Oakley ones. And I particularly like the Oakley ones. These are prescription as well. These are shiny black as opposed to my others, which are matte black. And these are just great. So I now have, 2 pairs plus, I now have 2 pairs. I have the Ray-Bans Metas and the Oakleys. I don't see much of a difference between them, but I really like them. Cool case, obviously, charging case that comes with them. But the glasses are just phenomenal. And I'm a really big fan of this technology here. And I think a lot of companies are going to get into making these glasses, whether it's Microsoft, Apple, or otherwise. And so this has led a lot of people to ask, okay, Kevin, well, what's your take on the, Meta display glasses? Well, as you know, I'm already basically a massive shill for these glasses. And I was watching not only the Meta display, showing that they were doing, but also some review videos on YouTube here of these glasses. And I have to say, I'm exceptionally excited about some of this. Now, here's an example where MKBHD provides, some insight into, the apps in here. One downside I see in this is I personally don't care so much in the United States about using WhatsApp. It seems to be more of an international style app. And I don't really care about Instagram on here. Like, I want my iPhone text messages on here, right? My Blue messages on here. Maybe one day that'll sync through. I do like that you now get the point of view of the actual camera so that you could see what's in your field of view. Previously, when you go to take pictures with the iPhone or with the Meta glasses, you don't really know, are you getting everything in frame that you want? You're kind of guessing. And this solves that. And providing this idea that, messages or like maps, a little gimmicky. I don't know that I really need this. I guess it could be useful if I'm traveling somewhere. But what I really liked was in Mark Zuck's demonstration, him basically saying, showcasing how text messages can pop up and how, Mr. Who's the Boss did a good video where he showed other people don't actually see what's on your screen. So you could choose from album art, choose pictures, change the volume by just rotating your hand in the air, see text messages from people right in the air. MKBHD says that's very intuitive. You can do it very rapidly. I'm a big fan of this. I absolutely love this. Notifications, maybe you could see like tweets or breaking news come up over time in the future. You could see important messages pop up immediately in front of your visuals. I'm a huge fan of this. So these display glasses at $7.99, I booked a demo for them. You can't buy them yet because they're not out yet. And I know a lot of people are dumping on Facebook here because they had a failed sort of live demo. This is just the part where the face call didn't work. I'm on mute. I could send a voice clip, but I've got this neural vent and it's silent. And now, so with his wrist right here, he could type. So this senses the impulses in your wrist to see what you're doing.
Now, and a lot of the time you're around other people. So it's good to just be able to type without anyone seeing and
want to join. Like, that's awesome. That's really cool how they can do that. It's like I try to type on my watch sometimes and it's really frustrating. This is really cool. And I feel like Apple should really catch up and get into this glasses game, because I actually have hanging, you could see them right there, maybe. I have these. There we go. The Apple Pro Vision, or Apple Vision Pro, whatever. I can never remember which way it is. But they're too heavy. You know, so they're not enjoyable to regularly wear. The Meta glasses, I can wear them all the time. I can wear them building my Cybertruck rack. I can wear them when I'm doing real estate. What I do now is I always wear the Meta glasses when I look at real estate, and I turn the video recording on, I walk through the property, and then without fail, 2 hours later, if I want to go write an offer, I'm like, oh, I wonder how old the furnace was. I look back at my phone, my Meta glasses already auto-synced the video, and I could look back and go, oh, there's me opening the furnace closet. And there's a video of all of it seamlessly right there from my point of view. It's so great. The technology, like every company is going to end up making these, and people are clowning on Meta because, you know, I guess when they issued a command to, you know, go live or whatever, it DDoSed themselves because too many devices picked up on that command, and it led to some latency issue with the live video demo that they were going to do, because they were going to show how you could do a live video call where the other person sees your point of view and you could see them, which is cool. Like, it's like FaceTime inside your glasses. I think it's awesome. So I'm a big fan of this. But in addition to this, Facebook also dropped, or Meta dropped the action glasses. I think that's what they call them. Oakley Meta AI performance glasses. That's what it was. So I'm going to tell you the 3 purposes I see in this. And I'm also going to tell you how you should, like, in a productive way, set this up. In my opinion, you should have 1 pair of Meta glasses in your car. Like, especially if you're a prescription glasses guy like me. You have 1 in your car, so it's always there for you when you're ready to drive, but it's also always with you. So, you know, you go to an event, you want to, you know, you go to a house or whatever, you always have your glasses with you. You should have 1, like, probably on your desk. So, you know, when you're around or you're going to go on a walk or whatever else, you have 1. So that's sort of my setup. 1 in the car, 1 ready to go with me if I'm going to pack a bag to go on a trip or whatever. This is interesting. These sport glasses, I think, are brilliant for people who are road bikers or skiers because they're larger. Now, the problem with these is they don't do prescription. I'm okay with that for skiing, though, because with skiing, the biggest issue that I have with skiing is it's cold in my eyes when I go skiing, and it makes my eyes water, especially when you're going faster. And I want some eye protection in case I hit like a branch or something, but I don't necessarily always want full goggles. And so having these with, now I think they come with even more microphones, to where apparently you can audio record while moving 30 miles per hour without picking up wind noise, is insane. Like, that is really cool technology. So I think for skiers and bikers, maybe even runners, although you don't necessarily want some crazy tan lines, these are really cool, just not for prescription purposes, which again is okay, because I don't need my prescription glasses to ski, because it doesn't make much of a difference to me. But this could be really cool for those purposes. So a big fan of the Meta glasses here. Meta AI, I'm not a big fan of. I think is mostly trash. So I think, you know, latency heavy and not that great. But in terms of practically what we're seeing with the evolution of these glasses, from the display glasses to these sport glasses to the basic ones you can get off the shelf right now. And remember, get $30 off with mekevin.com/meta. This technology is great. It is evolving exactly the way it should, and I couldn't be more excited about all of this. So yeah, I'm gonna get the smart glasses, and I'll let you know what I think of them. I think the new watch is also showing up today, so we'll have the watch, this orange phone to set up, and some glasses here. And we'll let you know how the tech is, but there are some things that I'll be frank with you. Like some things are worth buying and some things aren't. The Meta glasses, especially if you have children, I think it is a fatal mistake not to have them. And I know some people are like, but Kevin, I don't want Facebook in my life or seeing my children or whatever. I get that. You could turn off like upload to Meta, which I did. You could also, I don't know that you could fully disconnect the account though. You can turn off the like, hey, Meta AI features and stuff like that. But there's probably still, some ability for them to capture your data. So I get that. I'm way less private than I probably should be. So, maybe that's just me being too blasé about it all. But I have to say, I'm very, very impressed with the way things are going with technology. And I'm very, very excited about it. And I can't wait for more competition to come out, whether it's from Warby Parker or Apple or Microsoft or OpenAI, or I don't really care who it is. You got to have these glasses. Prescription, I keep trying to convince Lauren to get them. And she won't do it, but it'll just be a matter of time. So somebody says, I kind of want those for snowboarding. I think they'd be great for snowboarding. Somebody says, Brett James crashed his Cirrus SR22 yesterday. Who's Brett James? And that sounds terrible. I'm really sad to hear that. Somebody says, everybody will wear and we live in a next level stupid society. I don't know where all this is coming from. Then you have, so what else here? Because Meta keeping all the data, I mean, they probably are. So anyway, yeah, that's my take. That's my tech take.
Knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.